So hi, I am Vincent Feuillard. I work at Airbus Group Innovation. It's the center of research and technology for the whole group of Airbus. I work in the applied mathematics department, the department of Fabien Mangeant, who is here also. And I will present a use of scikit-learn for predictive maintenance. So first, I will introduce a little bit the context of predictive maintenance. Then I will try to illustrate with a very simple example how we can define an operational interruption alert item. And then I will talk about what we would like to see in a machine learning toolbox for, in the context of predictive maintenance. We did a first benchmark of different tools, and then I will explain a little bit why we like using scikit-learn. So first, the predictive maintenance context. So in maintenance, so for example, when you have a car, when the engine has some trouble, you cannot start, so you have to correct and to repair immediately the engine. So this is what is called corrective maintenance. But sometimes, for aircraft, for example, you have some scheduled maintenance, and the objective is to try to look at the aircraft and to be able to planify the different maintenance actions, and it's for preventive, to try to not have some trouble in the future. And there is now something which is quite going on in our business unit. It's what is called condition-based maintenance. So it's we look at the state of the aircraft, and we try to know in which state he is. We try to understand his health status, and we try to forecast his health status and try to say, okay, perhaps that will fail in, I don't know, in 2 or 3 days. So you should do some maintenance action. So this is predictive maintenance. So an example within Airbus of predictive maintenance is the example of RTHM. So RTHM is a service for A380 and A350. So the objective of this service is to follow the aircraft, the A380. So the data are sent to the airlines, then are sent to Airbus, are analyzed. There are some people who look at the data and try to define some alert or to check the status of the aircraft, and eventually to call the airline to plan some maintenance actions. So this is what is going on for A380 and A350. And typically, the idea is that an aircraft has many parameters. It is able to follow a lot of parameters, let's say 80,000 parameters to be followed during a flight. And then the idea is to try to, from this data, to analyze this data and to find some set of data or some parameters that will help us to define a health status or perhaps perhaps a trouble. So just the idea is now, so we collect the data from the aircraft. We are able to have some kind of database, and we want to make an operational interruption item. So there are many questions to answer. So first, what kind of parameter do we have to look at? What key indicator do we have to look at, and so on. So this is mainly done by expertise. So we'll show you an example just after. But for helping this expertise, we need some data analysis means, and so we need some tools of machine learning for defining some kind of operational interruption alert items. So I will now illustrate it. It will be more comprehensive. So just, for example, in an aircraft you have some oxygen bottles, and the function of this system is to deliver to the passenger and to the crew, in case of depressurization of the aircraft, oxygen. So it must be available, it must be always available. Also, for safety reason, the pressure is tested and recorded at each flight. So we are able to have the data, so the data of the pressure of each bottle for each A380 and for each flight. So the aim now is try to follow this pressure in the bottle and to say, okay, there is enough pressure to, okay, or perhaps that I will detect a leak or a trouble in this bottle, and that you must do some maintenance operation to change the bottle, for example. So here we use the scikit-learn to try to understand a little bit the data, the pressure. So first we use we use scikit-learn to visualize the different behavior of the pressure. In the first here you can see that the pressure decrease, it is normal because it is tested at each flight, and so the pressure is going down for each flight, so it decreases normally. Here you can see that well, there were some kind of maintenance. So here the pressure was decreasing, and then someone has filled the bottle, and then the pressure is going on. Here you can see that there is a leak. Okay, so here there is a problem in the bottle, so it has to be changed. Here a trouble with sensors. Sometimes we have no flight, and sometimes we have no data. So here we use the scikit-learn for visualization of our data. So this is a very simple example, but scikit-learn was quite useful for visualization and for accessing to this data and for data manipulation. So the idea here is try to define an operational item alert. So it's quite simple. So here, to answer to this question, so we can see that there are different operating modes, and we collect the data and we want to know, so to classify in which operating mode it is. So as a classical, let's say, machine learning study, first we have to select some features to be observed. So here it is very simple, it is the pressure. So it is the pressure and the difference of pressure between two observations. So the difference of pressure, and also the difference of pressure in time. So it helped us to make the clustering. So then we did some clustering of the data following these two parameters. Then after we validate our clusters, so we let's say we manually look at the data and say, okay, this was really a leak, this was, I don't know, this was normal, this was not normal, and so on. And then we classify. So, well, we were able to, in almost real time, to monitor the pressure of the oxygen bottles, and then to predict if it is normal or abnormal, if it is a leak or not a leak, following these two parameters. So this is the kind of results that we have. So here we use the scikit-learn for assisting the clustering. So first for visualization, then for assisting the clustering of the different operating modes, for learning some classifiers, okay, and also for predicting the operating mode. So being given the pressure, well, okay, it is normal or not normal. And so currently it is tested for A380 fleets, this kind of thing. It is really tested. So scikit-learn is used for following, tested for the time being. It's just tested, but it is a test. And it is used to follow some A380s. And well, the main question for us at Airbus is to know if there is some perennity of the software, and if it is if there is some compatibility with the platform that is used in Airbus. So here, well, I will also talk a little more later on this topic. So the idea for us, so we are NRT at I am at the RNT, but the people who do this kind of studies are not always in well, they are not aware or they do not know really machine learning, and so they need a tool, some kind of tool that is quite understandable for them. So we did a little benchmark of different toolbox for machine learning, mainly for well, for engineers or for people that are not really data scientists. And we wanted that the tools had at least this kind of functionalities. So some functionalities for data munging. So data munging is, let's say, the fact that you convert the data in a format that will be more convenient to do some statistics. The functionality for data visualization also. So here the idea is to visualize the data. So for the pressure it was quite obvious. We have just to follow the pressure. But sometimes we have some data sets that are in a high dimension, let's say greater than 5. And for visualization, it's quite useful to have some capabilities for dimension reduction, for example, like multidimensional scaling or some tools like this. So it should have some unsupervised learning capabilities also. So for clustering and also for anomaly detection. So anomaly detection, we are working on this topic also. Well, in AJE we are working on this topic, but it could be useful for filtering the outliers in our data, but also for detecting some kind of unexpected behavior in the operating mode. Some capabilities of supervised learning for classification and regression, well, and easy to use, also well documented, and the possibility of building eventually a graphical workflow. So, and typically we would like that it is stable and reliable, that it is that there is a compatibility with the platform that we use within Airbus. Okay, and that there is a perennity, obviously, because an aircraft, so for A380, it has to be perenne because an aircraft is used for, let's say, 30 or 40 years. So first benchmark of different tools. So we look at different tools that could answer to these questions. Well, quite rapidly. Sometimes we have some people within AJE that are using already these tools, so we ask them some questions. So we look at KNIME, RapidMiner, and Orange. So these tools are quite easy to understand and quite easy to use. There is the possibility of doing some graphical workflow with this tool. But let's say that it's more for domain engineer also. But for me, well, it is not really adapted for complex cases or so on because sometimes we do not know exactly what it is done, what is done inside. Obviously, for us, for me, the best are, for me, I come from this world, from R. So for me, R is the best for data scientists and for statistics. But I'm more and more let's say I'm contaminated by Python by Python guys around me, and Python is really a great language of programmation, And so scikit-learn is really good also for answering the previous questions. So why scikit-learn? Let's say because it is in Python, first of all. And as you know, all people that work in Python respect these rules, the PAP20. So since all people of Python respect these rules, it's very easy to understand, very easy to look at the scripts and so on. And in our environment, so there are many people that also come from physics or simulation that already use Python. So it's really one big advantage of scikit-learn. And the use of Python allows us also to have access to other libraries for data munging, for visualization, for many things. So it's quite great for us. So why scikit-learn? Mainly because it is in Python, mainly because it is really complete for use. So currently, our practice, we are a few to do some machine learning in AGI. We do the famous data munging with Pandas, the machine learning with scikit-learn, and with another tool which is OpenTurns that we developed. And we do some visualization with Matplotlib and also a library which is Bokeh, which is quite new and which is quite funny for playing and for plotting. But for a deployment within the BU, so here it is for doing for the building of the operational alert item, operational interruption alert item. So we do it, we do the analysis with this data, and when we have the alert item, so it is an algorithm, we have to plug in it in our in-house platforms. So we have to be sure of the perennity of the software and about its compatibility with what we are already using. So, this is the question that we are faced, and that we would like to be quite sure of these aspects before deployment in our BUs. So this is all. If you have any questions.